Hello loves and welcome back to my channel. This of course is the second part of Chatting It Up with Char, the Diamond Target Members edition. There are more pearls of wisdom, would you believe? So if you haven't checked out part one, I will link it in the description bar below. Watch it, take it in, take some notes. They're definitely going to be doing some more fitness and slimming world content. Thank you so much for the feedback that you've passed on to me and to the guys in the video so far. It's really nice to know that we're hitting the mark and we're helping you out with your healthy eating lifestyle goals. So thank you so much. Leave us a comment below after you watch part two. Tell us what you think. Smash the like button. Can we make 50 likes this video? That's my challenge to you. This video is already the most watched video on my channel. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for tuning in and watching. It's only right that we deliver part two.
My virtual group yesterday, and they're busy and they're packed, and I just said, you know, do you remember we can recreate it? You know, I think one of my members is about to get a 7 stone award next week. She's £1 away, and I said in group we'd be on our chairs, you know what I mean, we'd be drum rolling, we'd be going mad, you know, people would be on their feet. And I said, and I tell you what, you can still get goosebumps. Because to see someone else completely change their life in front of you, someone you see every single week, it's incredible. And I know next week, if she nails it, that it'll erupt. They'll be erupting in their living rooms, watching people blossom, change, build their self-confidence, build their self-esteem, whilst they're helping others do the same thing. It's a win-win, isn't it?
Yeah. I think that reciprocity helps everybody. It helps the person receiving it. It helps the person giving it. It just feels wonderful. Something I wanted to touch on today, one of my favourite thought leaders called Tony Robbins says that you are your daily habits. And I really believe that that's something important when you're trying to achieve weight loss. So, you know, coming from unhealthy backgrounds, how did you start to work on those daily habits so that they were healthy? Your hair looks fine, Mickey, don't worry.
Well, I'm thinking about a perm. I ain't sure. For me, I lived off takeaways and chocolate beforehand. My eating habits were not good, but they fitted into my life as I thought. I'd literally get up about 4:30 in the morning, head off to work, and I wouldn't eat a thing from waking up until just before I got home that night, and it could have been a late one, 9:10. I went for a place called Takeaway Alley.
Bill, you haven't painted the picture. Listen, if you live in Enfield, you'll know it, but if you don't, the reason he calls Lancaster Road Takeaway Alley is because literally you've got like kebab, pizza, fish and chip. It's literally Chinese, Indian, whatever you want is all just down this road, and that's why he calls it Takeaway Alley.
I'd literally half hour from reaching Takeaway Alley, I'd phone up whichever one and have it ready, and I'd go in and I'd get, and this is 6 years ago, 25-30 quid worth of food, go home and eat it. That's how I lived, and all I had through the day was coffee and fag. Yes, it wasn't healthy, but it
sounds like a lot of vitamins and minerals in your daily diet.
Sounds like a lot of dollars.
You must have had a lot of energy.
Up here, it was the right thing to do. I've eaten now.
So then, how did you get them new healthy habits in?
Read the book. Listen to you. The day after group, I went to my cupboards, cleared them out because there was nothing in there which fitted into the plan that I'd put in place for my food optimizing, because it was big full fat mayonnaise, big blocks of cheese, tuna things all dripping in oils, all the oil ones, and nothing from the healthy version for me. So I literally cleared everything I had and went out and done my first Slimming World shop. I took the book, because the shopping list's in there, and I took some ideas from that. and I'd read the speed foods, the healthy exercise. I'd read and I'd marked in my book what I'd like, and that was my shopping list for the first week. And you know, I even bought a fruit bowl. Craziness. Before I would have kept me fags in it, you know. It was it was like that, total flipped over. And that was the only way for me. I know there is the other method of, well, when I've ate all this, I'll start. But that's
good at this, isn't he?
It had to go.
Do you know what? I think it's really cool that you've touched on that, because so many members say, oh, can I join in 2 weeks once I've eaten all my Christmas? Or, you know, like once I've got rid of the fish fingers. But in truth, you can either get rid of them straight away and start straight away, or you can food optimize them. There are lots of food optimizers everywhere, including me, that have a fish finger. What about you, Shell? Daily habits, how did you get them in?
Tracey, I mean, smoker, yes, tick that box. Drinker, tick. But everything was to the extreme. And like Bill, with this crazy job I had, I would leave the house, not have anything to eat, work through my lunch, think I was like Superwoman. And then the minute you got in the car at 7, 8 o'clock at night, you could eat your own arm. And there was no hope then, was there, that you were going to get something sensible? You know, I was really hot on breakfast before I'd gone out on all my journeys, but had never been able to sustain them. For me, they were so ingrained, some of the things that I would do. But yeah, and also, can I just say fluid? Like Bill, I would drink maybe 1 can of Diet Coke all day and wonder why I had a migraine. So water, yeah. And I would set myself hydration goals. I'd set myself goals to make sure the best thing about the journey now is that I actually know when I'm hungry. Whereas before, I had my body had no concept of when it was time to eat.
Someone, Slimming World, said, what we're trying to help members do is think like naturally slim people. And she said, naturally slim people don't binge. They respond to their hunger cues. And she said, people that are overweight often eat past those hunger cues. So they don't really know when they're hungry anymore. They don't really know when they need to refuel. So what we need to help members do is eat to their appetite, so they start tuning into themselves a little bit more. So that kind of speaks to what you just said, Shell, in terms of actually, yeah, I know this is not hunger. I need to just have a drink now. This is, you know, it's not like every minute needs to be, oh, I'm refueling, I need to eat sort of.
I definitely think regular meals. And again, why I'm so mad about it, if you've got a plate of speed and protein, or you're not gonna be hungry. Like if you eat a decent breakfast, you know, it's that stuff, it's those daily habits that you just have to. And the thing is, motivation comes and goes. So by planning and prepping, as long as it's there, you've got to be ahead of the habit. Does that make sense? Because it's not, it doesn't, until it comes naturally, you've got to have the bottle of water in front of you. You've got to have the lunch in the fridge ready to go. I mean, for me, it was a gammon joint on the way. As soon as I'd get in from work, I'd always cook a gammon joint on a Sunday, so that, you know, that starvingness of when you've got through the door and you're thinking, I don't know if I'm going to make it to dinner. That I'd have protein, something to grab.
Yeah.
But that took a bit of thinking, because I couldn't always work out why I kept going awry. So for me, it was stuff like that. It was preempting where it could go wrong and putting something in place until it become a habit.
Yeah.
If that
and there's
helps.
a beautiful page in our Be Delighted book for that. It really helps you discover your sabotage traps, your danger areas, and your triggers, and get ahead of it. Like, I love that thinking, Shell, because it's like, it's not going to come naturally to you at first. So you're going to have to work at it, being this is how I live now. And then once you've done it for a while, it will be just how you live now.
What I found over those first few weeks was the absolute mindfulness of planning, because I just didn't have it before. So I did, unlike you guys, sort of having one meal a day. Oh no, that wasn't Tracey. My issue was that I never stopped to think what I'd already eaten. So I would typically get up, I would head to work. I'd get off just outside the Sainsbury's. I think, right, I'll go and have a Danish pastry. And I'd get a bottle of milkshake, which, let's be fair, is probably over your daily sins in one bottle. And then somebody would say at lunch, oh, we're going to go to the Chippy, or we're going to go to McDonald's, or even we're going to go to Tesco. And I'd go to Tesco and I'd get a meal deal. So big pack of sandwiches, crisps, full fat drink. But I'm all about the desserts. Tracey needs a pudding. I need a pudding. So I'd go and get one of them sundaes, you know, where the yogurts were. And then because I used to work till 6, I'd need to get a pack of biscuits or a chocolate bar for the afternoon. But so then I'd have that. And then I'd get home in the evening and think, oh, I've got nothing in. I've not really planned anything. Takeaway. I never stopped to think what I'd already eaten during the day. And there was just complete lack of mindfulness over it all. And that was the brilliant thing, that as I was going along, even just planning my evening meal, I would then start to think about what I would have for lunch and at what time, if I knew what I was, when I was having my evening meal. And that just, those daily habits, which are now normal. This is why, you know, I hear so many people, especially as we've just come out of Christmas and New Year, so many people say, I'm going to get back on plan. See, that's not my quote. For me, I always say I have Christmas the way I want to have Christmas, but then I go back to normal. Because, it's, you know, next month there's been 7 years that I've been a member. And that is because that's the norm now.
Just to kind of take the guilt out of it, I think she's called Skinny Schedule on Instagram, but she calls things like Christmas, your birthday, planned indulgences, so you can ditch the guilt. Adult choice I'm making for myself. I'm going to live with the outcome. I'm not going to give myself a guilt trip about it. And then I'm going to go back to just food optimizing the way I always do. But actually you get to target quicker when you're not doing that whole punish myself, are you idiot, have a planned indulgence, oh, you shouldn't have done that, oh, you idiot. You know, and people recognize themselves in this hamster wheel of, you know, unhealthy chatter to themselves.
Just that level of feeling in control.
I kind of want to touch on, but we're in a national pandemic, an international pandemic. Stress levels are super high for everybody. People are losing people are having family members that are sick. Obviously, it also brings up a lot of worry and concern in people themselves. No matter how healthy you are, at some point you will have had some concern over the position that we are all having to navigate life in. So I've heard a lot of people say, now's not the right time.
I think you hear that anyway. I think, and again, like Bill was saying, it took him 2 years to get there, you know, because you put those things in your head that actually it's not, I can't do it at the moment because of X, Y, Z. And I think currently that is the easiest thing to put it down to. I can't do it at the moment because there's this going off. And the way I like to look at it is there's so little in our control. Why not actually own the one thing that we are in control of? And that's what we eat, drink, and, you know, how active we are. And so it's just taking that little bit of control back where we can. We're being told what we can't do, but actually this is something we can.
The one thing that hasn't changed for any of us is the reasons why we stayed in group. And this is what I put back on my members when they say, you know, because of all this, I want to do it in group. And I'll say, you know, but you started for a reason. That reason hasn't changed. And that reason never changes, because we all walk through them doors for that one reason. You know, and you're still going to eat. You're still going to drink through the pandemic. Mm-hmm. You're still going to do it. Why not have that support there that has worked for you right up till now and will continue to work for you?
Love that.
And that's
similarly, now more than ever, it is so important to be healthy. Yeah, it's so important because you see the statistics, and actually those people in those vulnerable groups and overweight, you know, they're at more risk. So it is an
underlying health condition, isn't it? And we know that the people that it's impacted the most are the people with underlying health conditions, and being overweight, let's not beat around the bush, is that, you know. So actually, if there was ever a time to be healthy, you know,
now is it. If you look at the Club 10, number 5 is it improves your lung functioning. So losing 10% of your body weight will improve your lung capacity and your lung functioning. I mean, can it be any more important at the moment? And I think people are fueled by fear. You can turn everything to a positive, even in the most difficult of situations. And for me, Project Me, there's a lot I can't do, but actually I can work on myself. It's like you say, you've just got to turn it around. And I suppose, and I used it a lot in the first lockdown, a lot of the temptation isn't there. Those stoppers, which may have been, you know, going out on a Friday night, the drinking, the eating out, the party, there is an opportunity now. And I, you know, it's horrible to say a pandemic is an opportunity, but there are ways in which you could actually really look at your lifestyle because you're in complete control. So actually, for the first time for many members, and for me personally, I'm in complete control of my, and I use the word diet in the sense of what I'm eating and drinking, not because I'm on one, but
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
there's nothing that's going to get in my way.
Yeah.
So I think it's really how you choose to look at things in life, isn't it? You know, it's coming with a positive mindset, even in the most difficult of times.
That swings back round to that mental health element as well, because when you are eating better and feeling better, that's improving you. And mental health is, you know, it's plummeted at the moment. It is a massive, massive bonus to actually sort of, if you can boost it by just doing those little things to make yourself feel better, then that's always a winner. It's always a winner.
Whatever beautiful pearls of wisdom that you've got for that person that might be sitting watching this video at home thinking, shall I, shan't I? What would you say with your experience? You know, there is nigh on 30 stone lost in this Zoom room tonight. You know, what would you say to them? Encourage them to give Slimming World a go?
I think, like with anything in life, you can never look back and regret something that you gave it a go. You can't regret the things you didn't do.
Yeah.
But I absolutely assure anybody who was thinking about it that you would never, ever regret being good to yourself and making yourself into the healthiest, most fittest person that you can be. You'll never regret that. Absolutely.
Such a good way to look at it, being good to yourself. I don't think enough people think about my diet, my exercise is a way of investing in me. Mm-hmm. I love that. I love that. Love your pearls of wisdom, Tree.
And you just don't know where it's going to lead you. That whole sense of you're worth this. Yeah. You know, you are worth eating well. You're worth moving more. You know, all of us started walking into a group and doing our shopping and learning to food optimize. But look where it's taken us. Yeah. We've got different careers. You know, we've got our body magic, what we've achieved in that sense. And I just, be brave. That first step, you just don't know where you could end up.
It's that beautiful Martin Luther King saying that faith is taking the first step, even though you can't see the whole staircase.
Absolutely.
You know, it's just that, just get on the first run, you know.
And essentially as well, if there are people that have got, you know, large amounts of weight to lose, and we discussed this the other day, didn't we, Char? Yeah. That actually sometimes that is so daunting that puts people off. But again, going back to the whole staircase thing, it doesn't have to be like that. You know, you can set those little mini targets just for that following week, and they all add up. Because I just set like really attainable targets for myself. Realistic targets, and it just grew. And I knew actually something, and I posted something the other day, and it just said, don't rush something you want to last forever. And you can't just go in.
Oh, she's got them.
Honestly, to target.
Next week. Yes.
I've said this to members. If we all came in next week as target members, have we learned anything? Have we? You know, what sort of knowledge about our lifestyle would we have? Can actually really stand up and say, I'm proud because I took the time to put that effort in to work on me because I wanted a baby. And you know, I then, you know, fell pregnant naturally, went back when he was 2 weeks old. I went to group the whole way through. I went back when he was 2 weeks old. But then my purpose was slightly different because I never wanted that little boy to know that mum that didn't take part. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Just, you know, take time for you.
Quite simply believe. Believe in yourself. Do it now. Don't put it off. You're worth it.
I love that. So that my subscribers can keep in touch with you, what are your socials? Oh, and before you go as well, so tell them your socials, how they can keep in contact with you. One of my goals as a consultant is that I think we give our members an arsenal full of stuff to get them to target, and they don't always use all of the tools in their arsenal. So perhaps you could tell us your favourite tool to help you change your daily habits. This will help you stay slim for life. What is your favourite tool that we offer our members?
My Facebook is Abby Shell, because I live in the Abbey and my name is Shell, so it just works for. And I'm Run Flynn Run on Instagram. But for me, actually, all the pack, the book's amazing. But what we've delivered in the last 12 months, the podcast, the blog, the stuff that is now, members will get more than ever in their toolkit. You know, I honestly, and the scanner on the app and all of the range at Iceland, from when I was a member 20 years ago to now, listen, you can't fail.
I've very much enjoyed using the barcode scanner this last few months. But yeah, I loved that. But I'm a bit retro. I like to keep a food diary because I am Dory. I will wake up in the morning, eat something, and by the time I'm going to bed, I forgot what I've eaten.
Yeah.
So I just like that control of keeping in track and listing what I've had. And again, it will just highlight, you know, where I might be lacking in sort of speed food on my plate, maybe, or, you know, I always find that good old simple from day one, that food diary has always served me really well.
Literally scan any food in a supermarket and it will tell you where it fits in the plan. And that's a massive time saver. So that's
you also,
really cool.
with the app as well, you also don't need to write it down. Like I'm retro and I like to use a pen and write it on a food diary. You can log it on the app so you can keep a track, tell you when you've had your healthy extras, whether it's free food or not. So that's always brilliant. You can ask me to quote my Instagram name now, aren't you? And I can't.
I'll put it on the screen.
It's wonderful. Look at the transformation picture. Incredible.
I know. Mickey, what about you, my darling? What's your favourite tool that we offer our members? And
well, you'll probably remember this. You'll probably remember this. I'm going to show it to you.
Okay. Hey, your original
retro.
What you handed me on day one. A great basis for you to crack into a good first week and to continue your journey. And within this pack, be delighted. I love that. I love that book. All this, your fresh start.
Fresh start.
28 days recipe book. It just keeps coming.
And don't forget, they get us. Come on.
That's
Come
good.
on.
That's
good.
good.
We're top of that list.
That's good. I mean, we've got to have 8 days training before we even graduate as a consultant. I agree with Shell in that the whole package is amazing about what members get. And what I would say is something that's really helped me a lot is like whenever I've not quite nailing something. So for me recently, it's been staying within my sins. This last week, I've just woken up every day and read the page on sins. And there's like paragraphs. There's only 2 pages in the book about sins, which really show you what a small part of the plan they are. But those 2 pages really made me think, well, you're not doing that. You're not doing that. How do you expect to stay within you? There's real key tips about how to stay within your sin limits, and just me refreshing my memory on what those paragraphs say has really helped. So for me, what I want the members to not do is read it once, because your consultant tells you to do that on the first night, and then only open it on group night. I want them to see that as a continuous resource, that actually if I'm ever struggling with healthy extras or I get bored, I can just delve into them pages. After a lot of feedback from members, even the Slimming World meals, when you're super busy or even when you're just first starting out and you're trying to find your feet, they're a safe place to land. Amazing. And then, which I think is our money shot, is our image therapy each week. And I think what a lot of people think is that we're not doing that because we're virtual, but this is where it's even more crucial and even more important. We want to give you the same razzmatazz has when someone gets an award. We want to support you. You know, we can still give you virtual tools as well. Can you believe they've even set that up? So, you know, if you need an SAS log or a for and against, we can still give you those tools to really support you to the hill, to help you with your behaviour changes, to help you with your daily habits, so you go out in the world and just absolutely smash it.
We're still here, and if we can still be supporting members after and during and through a pandemic, a global pandemic, we will never stop supporting members. Yeah.
It's been absolutely lovely.
It's been
the highlight
such a
of my
privilege to
2021.
spend an evening with you guys, man. Thank you.
Honestly.